Mayo speaks out, as there have been a bevy of rumors surrounding the New England Patriots on what they are going to do at this trade deadline and what players will be on the move. Jerod Mayo comes and speaks out on all of it, and we're going to break it down here on Patriots Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. Mayo spoke out on trade rumors surrounding his team. This has been a team and a coach that has been much maligned in the media this year, especially for his soft comments. People don't know how he is adjusting comparatively to Bill Belichick, because obviously Bill Belichick, when you have that's the gold standard and you put that even a bigger target on your back. It was the same thing with Mac Jones. If you aren't great, you're not Brady. Obviously, we had the Cam Newton year in the middle, but truly, it was, okay, this next iteration of quarterback, it's Mac Jones from Tom Brady. He's got an even bigger target on his back, and he's got to produce at a high level. And Jerod Mayo's getting that same thing. When you replace that kind of coach, 8 Super Bowl rings in total, as 2 as a defensive coordinator, 6 with the Patriots. When you replace that, it's very difficult, and you're going to have a target on your back to start from day one. The Patriots were unable to pick up another win against the Tennessee Titans. What a game that was. It was ugly, it was sloppy, it was clutch, it was ecstatic, it was fun, it was devastating. Drake Maye brought us through all of it. He had the phenomenal play, one of the plays of the year, honestly, as a quarterback. The scramble forever, and then as he's getting tackled, the flip to Rhamondre to get the game to overtime. Obviously, we saw a lot of great plays this weekend. Devontae Smith, that one-handed grab, Demarcus Robinson, and then obviously Saquon, I'm not even a human Barkley. But Drake Maye made an outstanding play and then coupled that with a bad turnover at the end of overtime to end the game. But with the loss, 2-7 now for the Patriots, and again, moving towards a high draft pick, we expected to be within the top 8 easy this year going into the season, but it's different from when you think it to now when you see it and when it's actually unfolding. Every single team in the league has 2+ wins. The Panthers just picked up their second against the Saints. Obviously, the Titans picked up their second against us. We have 2. The Panthers, Saints, all of it, they have 2 wins. And that's the league. No one else in the league. Those are the 4 worst teams record-wise in the league. So, I mean, we knew this was going to be the fate of the Patriots. Jerod Mayo and company will need to make some major moves before next season if they want to get closer to contending. That we knew. Drake Maye is the future. That we also know. This season has been great for one reason and one reason only. Drake Maye is the future. Cross-sport comparison, kind of like the Spurs last year. They figured out the aliens, the future. That's all they needed to figure out. Play around with everything else, but we know we have the future. Drake Maye is a franchise quarterback in this league right now for the New England Patriots. The way he can move, the way he can run, we haven't seen that before. Obviously, again, Cam Newton for that little stint, but truly we haven't seen a quarterback who is going to be there for a long term, who can run like he does. He can spin the ball down the field, make plays. He can extend plays. We have a level of entertainment, and he has a level of ingenuity to him to where things actually are engaging and interesting play to play, and when the play breaks down, we still have the ability. Brady was great within the pocket, so he could extend plays great, but he was such a tactician that he wasn't even going to really get out of the pocket all that much unless it was a designed bootleg or whatnot, if he had to step up and kind of step out of the pocket. But it's not like when you see with Josh Allen, you see with Mike Holmes, you even see with C.J. Stroud a little bit, you see it with Jaden Daniels, you see it with all these quarterbacks who can get out of the pocket. Drake Maye is one of those guys who can, but he is going to need more talent moving forward if that is something that we're going to actually be able to see in full. And quite a few players on the New England roster have been appearing in discussions. Among the names, we have seen wide receiver Kendrick Bourne, we've seen Tyquan Thornton, we've seen KJ Osborne, Jonathan Jones, and even safety Kyle Duggar. I remember Kyle Duggar was in that last year as well. When Jerod Mayo was asked about all the trades, he went and he spoke on it. He said, a lot of things are silly. It's frustrating at times because you always want to be very transparent with the player and let them know. They hear it. When a report comes out that is absolutely 100% false, and you have to address it with that individual, it just takes up more time and more headspace. And that's understandable when you have to say Jonathan Jones is in like serious trade rumors to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. They need a corner. And they're like, okay, you have a report coming out that like, oh, Cincy's interested in Jonathan Jones. And then Jonathan Jones hears that not even via the team. He hears it via some random reporter, some beat reporter on a Wednesday interview after practice. And then he has to go to Jerod Mayo. Jerod Mayo has to sit down like, hey, I'm sorry this is going on. You're not in the trade talks. We don't think of that. Or they have to disclose what their plan is and then be honest with them up front, and that can create some friction. And then if they say something like, no, we're not planning on trading you, NFL's a business, he gets traded anyway, that's when bad blood within the organization comes along. So these false reports, when they're reports of things that you don't actually have any knowledge on, it's just like, oh, this could happen when you're playing fantasy football, Trademaker, or Madden, when you're just putting trades together. It's very difficult for these coaches. So I completely understand where Jerod Mayo is coming with this, because it makes it a much more difficult situation for the organization, for the team, for the coach, and for the player. And I mean, it's very likely that the Patriots are going to make moves. Of course, those names are some of the high names because you got a veteran in Kendrick Bourne, a veteran in KJ Osborne, two guys who could help move the needle for teams who need a wide receiver, like the Bucs we saw last night on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. They had few completions to wide receivers, a little bit more on that last drive, and then that last drive to get them to 24-24. But it was a lot of KDOT, and it was a lot of dump it to Bucky Irving, John Tucker, dump it to Rashad White. They don't really have the ability to get open, and Kendrick Bourne, KJ Osborne are two guys who can get open in a quick time frame. So those would be two there. Jonathan Jones, if someone needs a corner, that is a good corner to have. He can play inside. He can play outside. Play nickel. He knows what to do playing corner-wise. And then Kyle Duggar is a utility guy. He can play outside linebacker, he can play inside linebacker, but truly, obviously, he can play safety, and he's good in coverage, but he's really where you got him is where he's tackling. He's great tackling. He is great finding the ball. He is really a mini linebacker at safety, the way he plays the ball. So these are definitely pieces that teams are going to be interested in, but whatever we do, it is for this guy right here. And I understand his statistics don't look jump off the page, but the plays have jumped off the page. You don't expect the statistics to be crazy with a team that's not great. We see it with Jaden Daniels. Obviously, they have Terry McLaurin. They have Brian Robinson. They have Austin Eckler. They have a good offensive line. Olamide Zaccheaus is a solid receiver. But when you have at least a number one like Terry McLaurin and then a good tight end in Zach Ertz, it makes things much easier for you to get going. And then that team is showing that they are truly a contender in the NFL. Last year with the Texans, I use these two because they were quarterbacks that were rookies. C.J. Stroud, you have Tank Dell, who came onto the scene before he broke his leg, was getting downfield over the top of the defense. You had Nico Collins, who has emerged as one of the top 15 receivers in the league. And then now this year, you've got Stephon Diggs. Last year, you had Dalton Schultz. Even Caleb Williams. You draft Rome Odunze top 10. You got DJ Moore in a trade last season. You get Keenan Allen. You have Cole Kmet. You go and get DeAndre Swift as a back. All of these guys who are rookies who have been producing at a high level, they have a lot of talent around them. Hunter Henry is good. I like Hunter Henry. Keep Hunter Henry around. He has been good for a while. Keep him within the fold. Kendrick Bourne, KJ Osborne, Demario Douglas, Keyshawn Boutte, Jalen Polk. A lot of guys who do the exact same thing, not too big. And then we got Tyquan Thornton, who can't seem to stay on the field. Not too big, not too strong, solid route runners, slots, but really can't stretch the defense like that. And then when Drake Maye is making some of these passes, Tyquan Thornton has missed them. He's missed out Mario Douglas. And then obviously he's made his mistakes as a rookie. But the thing that's impressed you the most, 10 yards per carry. He's got a touchdown there. He has been running the ball at an elite level, especially for a quarterback. So when you see that, those are the things that make you very excited for the future of the New England Patriots, because they have the future in Drake Maye. Now they need to support it. First, start with the offensive line. Make sure he doesn't get beat up and hurt every single week. Go get some weapons on the outside and continue to bolster this offense, because the defense is always going to be there. They're like the Baltimore Ravens, Ravens haven't been the greatest this year, but even so, it's defense is the culture. The defense will be okay. Jerod Mayo is a defense-first guy. We need to get offensive pieces, and that's what this offseason is, and it starts at the trade deadline. Jerod Mayo spoke on these rumors, but we will see who moves. Who do you guys think should move for the New England Patriots? Are you fine with Kyle Duggar, someone of that stature, to leave? Or do you think we should retain him? Maybe Jonathan Jones, Kendrick Bourne, KJ Osborne? What do you guys think, and what do you think would be the best moves for the Patriots going into this future with Drake Maye? But this has been Patriots Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see all of you very soon.